The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 549 of Daily Deck Review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the blue edition of the Bicycle Stronghold playing cards. So, with no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. So as you can see here, where it is in that standard glossy finish talk box, you've got that bicycle logo up there, that kind of more like bronze colored metallic ink. There it says Stronghold down there, and then you got that little design there in the middle there, and the tuck box is black, blue, and that kind of metallic bronze. On one side it says Made in the USA. The other side says Stronghold. On the bottom here, you got your information. It says custom built playing cards, shapeshifters, and these are from, if I zoom in, it says they are from 2020, the United States Play Company, made in the USA, and they are distributed by playingcards.net, and they are by Gambler's Warehouse. Then on the back, a little sneak peek of that back design and some more metallic ink. There's no seal for the cards. And then on the top, it just says Stronghold. On the tuck flap here, got a little corporate information, and it also says Stronghold. The inner tuck flaps have a little like metallic horse on there. Now, if we take the cards out of the box, on the inside of the tuck box is just that matte white finish. Nothing too crazy or fancy going on inside there. And now that we look at the top box, time to look at the cards. And as always, we'll start with the back design. So here we have mirrored back design there. And it's a fully inked back design, so there's no white border. And it's not like a full like borderless design, because there is a black border going around the edges. But there's a little bit of an edge break with the little corners there in the middle of each of the corners there. And then you got that Stronghold design there. Looks like the swords there on the top and the bottom. You got that circle design there. And then you got that little design. And then you got that kind of like little X kind of little pattern in the back there. Kind of like that like metal grate kind of like style design there. And that kind of like more bronze copper kind of metallic ink there. And it is a black inked like border deck. So the more you shuffle, like they will start peeling and turning white over time. So that's one thing to take notice. And now for the cards you get with the deck. And we can see that it is just that white face on it. And you got the Joker there, and that custom font. With that custom Joker there, it's you got a sword there with some kind of little, like, some different language there. Or it says Millith. Something, I don't know what it says. It says something there, I can't. And then you got the little design there in the back behind it. And then you got another similar Joker here. It says Joker there in that purple font instead of the blue there. And then you got a different style sword with a different pattern, but the same background design there is pretty much the same there. And it looks like all those cards have that little shadow back design there. And then you got that custom Ace of Spades there with that little circle design there in the middle there. And there's that black and kind of like copper, kind of like bronze colorway. And then you got the custom suits and numbers there in the corners. And it looks like the spades are that blue colorway. So you got the custom spade there with that little X little shape there in the middle there. That goes throughout the rest of the spades here. And you got a slightly different kind of orientation to where the numbers are on the cards. And look at the Jack, Queen, and King of Spades here. And they are fully custom. And you can see like the Jack is like in a suit of armor there. And then you got the Queen and the King there. And they'll have different items in their hands. And look at that slightly custom Ace of Diamonds here. And that purple colorway with that little symbol in there. And the rest of the cards, the rest of the diamonds are custom as well with that purple colorway. And we got the fully custom core cards, Jack, Queen, and King. Similar styles. So they're like the similar styles, just different, like, slightly different art on them. And you got the Jack, Queen, and King of clubs here. With that custom club suit there. And you got different like suits of armor for the Jacks there. And you got the custom club design there. That kind of blue and like white colorway. And we get to the custom Ace of Clubs here. And you can see the design a little bit better here. But isn't that blue and more like that more bronze color? And then last we got the hearts, Jack, Queen, and King of Hearts. Once again, fully custom court cards there with 3 slightly different designs once again. And then you got the custom heart design in that purple and white colorway. And then lastly, we got the Ace of Hearts here. Here with that purple and kind of bronze colorway. And the last two cards in the deck, they kind of make a bigger card here. They make a little art card where it says Stronghold. You got that bigger design there. Yeah, that nice fancy design. And on the back, just the back design there. But they do slightly line up as well for the back design. There. But now that we to look at the cards, time to test the handling. And these are just the classic air cushion finish from the United States Playing Company. So they should handle fantastic. But for the springs, they have a nice slick kind of feel to the springs. And I definitely know they're going to go flying if I'm not careful. So only do a few little springs here. But they have a nice, like, medium stock to it. They're not, like, super stiff and they're not, like, super flexible or anything. But they have a nice flex to them, though. And then for the fan ability, they fan super smoothly. See all the numbers there. And then for the back design, you got a nice back design with that dark black border there, with that kind of like slightly a little brighter kind of bronze color with a little splash of blue in it. Both look pretty nice. Then we'll get to see that giant fan, so we'll ferro them. Pretty solid ferro. And you got that nice giant fan. So far they seem to be handling pretty nicely. So we should have no issues. And no issues shuffling the cards or handling them. They feel fantastic and they look fantastic while shuffling as well. With that kind of darker colorway with the little shine of that metallic ink. It looks pretty nice. And like I said, it is that kind of black board, darker black border, like fully inked back design there. So they will start chipping a little bit, like, but if you don't use them as much, then they won't chip that much. But like the more heavy use they have, the more they'll chip. But overall, I gotta say, a fantastic custom deck of bicycle cards once again. Yeah, one last little look at that fantastic back design there. I'm not usually a fan of like fully inked like black back designs or just fully inked designs there, but I do really like this deck there. I don't know, something about it there. And then you got the fully custom faces from the suits with that custom purple and blue colorway, and those fully custom core cards there, where no core card is the same. They're slightly different because you got the jacks here in the suit of armor, and all the suits are slightly different than one another there. And they handle fantastic, like super smooth. And got that nice crispiness of a brand new deck. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. And this has been day 549 of a daily deck review. And this has been the Blue Bicycle Stronghold playing cards from Gambler's Warehouse. And I'm the Canadian Collective signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.